Morning, boys. What are we at? Wednesday, 8:15. Running behind the normal schedule this morning because I slept in. It was too hot last night. We're trying to sort the video out that kept failing. It really wound me up. So I started the video early yesterday. Had it all ready to go, and the thing, for some reason, failed to process. So I was doing it again at like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock this morning. Bloody thing. And then when I uploaded it, my edit was clean all the way through, and then when I uploaded it, I watched it back, and I had that chunk of visual missing, obviously, like the weird little blackout. There was sound but no picture, so I'm not entirely sure what happened there. So apologies. Thanks, love. Apologies about that one. It wasn't intentional. I didn't go through a tunnel. I don't know what that's about. But maybe GoPro didn't like the heat either. So we're on our way in on a Wednesday. Today I've got a Lexus GS300 coming in. We've got to do some speakers into it, and that's today's job. So nice and easy, nice and straightforward, hopefully. Temperature's cooled down today, so we are at 20 degrees and it feels like so much nicer. So we've lost within the last 2 days about 19 degrees, something like that. Overnight it was a little bit hotter last night, but obviously tonight it will be a little bit cooler, and we'll get back to a normal summer in England, which is about 2025, which is a bit nicer, a bit more manageable, and I get we'll sort of carry on with the work without so much stress. Not much else to say. We've got a lot of stuff coming up this week and next week. We're booking into August, way into August already, which is lovely. Lots of work coming through, and stock, we're getting there with it, but it's still difficult to get some stuff. As soon as it comes in, it gets straight back out. So I spoke with a bin company yesterday, Hills Waste Management. They have various distribution or various collection centres, should I say, because they take rubbish away. They don't drop it off. But I spoke with a manager yesterday who said that all of the vehicles basically carry like a active camera system, so they monitor driver behaviour, you know, acceleration, braking, incidents, impacts, that kind of stuff. And I said on the video, obviously the guy is literally like, when Harry heard my car alarm going off next door, he came outside and he said the bin lorry, he didn't realise it was the bin lorry that caused the problem, but he did notice this guy had gone absolutely flying out the industrial estate like crazy for a stupid, you don't need to drive a bin lorry that fast in such a small area. There's just no point. But anyway, you heard on the video the impact on the car. So he said he had to download this camera footage from the guy's lorry, obviously go through and sort of say to the driver what he's done, whether he knew about it or whether he didn't. I don't understand why you wouldn't know that there was a massive explosion as he's hit the wall, and then the car alarm goes off where it gets showered with debris that he then, you know, speeds off through the industrial estate like nothing has happened. All a bit, you know, kind of smack it and run. But anyway, I'm sure his boss is going to have words with him. As soon as that happens, obviously I'll have details of their insurance company, and then basically start the ball rolling of getting the car repaired again. Such a pain in the ass. And obviously we're still waiting on this one being fixed as well. So I've started to get quotes from body shops and send them off to the company in Ireland, and then I'm waiting to hear back from the bloke. So say the guy is going to pay for my damage out of his own pocket because he hit the vehicle, not the guy's excess on insurance. But we'll see. Either way, I don't really care. This is insured. His vehicles are insured. If I have to claim off his insurance, so be it. Not the best way to kind of carry on midweek. I could have done without the stress and the hassle, but At least I've got you lot, right? Anyway, on to work, breakfast, and waiting for our first job in. See you soon. New t-shirt, by the way. Do you like it? It's cool, right? And it's a big baggy one, like a moo-moo.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Guys, so we've got GS300. We've got to do speaker replacement, so all these ones here, these need to be replaced, and we're going to talk through how he wants them mounted on the outside and he wants a tweeter placement here. So we're going to discuss about how we get this right without making it look like a dog's breakfast. We've also done coaxials in the rear, same again, taking out the big pad of a speaker, and we've gone for a 6-inch in the back. All kickers. But we're going to mark up this door card and I'll show you how to get it right so it looks equal and even, and you're not worried about ruining someone's door card and making loads of holes, about measuring and cutting once and then you don't have to worry about anything else. So we'll just get rid of this little plastic that thing there, so that's gone. Right, so we figured out from looking at this that the dash is going to come around this section here, and obviously we want our tweeter mounted in this section there and a mid-range there. The mid-range is fairly straightforward because you've got where the speaker sits, there's a load of space behind the door, and what we're effectively doing is marking this and making the hole, and then obviously our magnet will sit through this point here. But the tweeter, something a little bit different. So we know, let's grab the bits, mid-range, tweeter, crossover. So we know roughly that the area that the tweeter sits in is around about 40 mil, okay? So from that, we get our tweeter out of its little cup, undo the securing ring. Now these door cards are about this thick, so the securing ring is not going to go on because there's nothing to grab the back of the tweeter because it's so big, but we're going to work with hot glue as well, okay? So how we do this, how do you find the center properly? We get our tweeter ring, which is our constant size. This is not going to change, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to fathom that it's going to sit around about this location there. So equal distance from this trim, equal distance from this trim, right? So we want it like that. So we get a Sharpie. Obviously you need to check on the back of the door that there's nothing in the way. Now this air vent that blows cold air up here actually comes up close to this, but we just kiss the edge of it, so there's no real problem there. And if it was a problem, we can always seal the back up with hot glue. So we're going to get our tweeter placement, right, which is going to go equal there, right? That will give us the same look on the other side, and then we mark simply where our tweeter hole is going to go. All right, so that's our placement. Now next thing we do is we need to find the center of this to be able to drill a hole. How do you find the center? Well, what we do, we measure this, which is about 40, okay, and then we halve it 2 centimeters with a compass. Now a bit of maths, you put your compass pin on the edge and you draw a little line across the middle, okay, and then you move it around the other side, little compass, draw your line across the middle, And then we move it the other side, draw a little line across the middle. Now what we end up with, I hope you can see this, is a tiny little triangle, and because of this is equal sides from all the way halfway, that there is where we need to drill for our hole. That's our center of that circle, and that ensures that we get everything through in that grade the right way. Then we get a hole saw, which is obviously as big as the back of the tweeter, but not bigger than the front, so we can hide our cut, okay? So what we're gonna do first with these ones, this is I think it's a 38mm hole saw, all right? So we disconnect the hole saw first, and we've got our drill, and we're gonna go straight through the center of our little door card, okay? There's our center. And when the chuck goes in, you can actually have a quick look and check that we are central to where we're going to be drilling our hole. All right, so that's the first bit. Then we connect up our hole piece. Make sure your chuck is tight, because you don't want this thing coming out and running all over the door card. Now, we switch the drill onto reverse so that the teeth to cut the leather are going backwards. If we have it forwards, the teeth will grab. This will rip, and it'll look like a dog's breakfast. So we always run our drill in reverse first to go through the soft surface, and once we get to the hard plastic underneath, then we'll spin it in the other direction. So, like so. Backwards. There we go. Now if I take this off, you can see we've got a nice cut. We've not interfered with the leather on the outside, it's gone straight through this door card, and what we're left with now is kind of like a foam plug. So once I'm all the way in, and I know I'm not going to damage this outer, then I switch it the right way round. We run in, okay? This is what I meant about the edge of that trim. So we've got our central piece. We now pop the foam coin, if you will, out the center of our hole saw. There we go, see? Nice neat cut to start with, and then the bit that's going to grab is the hard plastic underneath. So we can pop this back in, and we can go again. Now on the black side of the air vent, the trim. Do a nice cut, and then we've got our perfectly round hole, okay? So I know for a fact that the tweeter fits neatly straight into this, and we've got a little bit of flex. Obviously this is a lot of foam, so as we're pushing the tweeter in, this side will give, and it will allow the tweeter to pass into that hole there, okay? But what we haven't got, because of the back, is hard plastic. Is enough space at the back. So what I want to do, take my door card, flip it. Here's our tweeter hole, and I'm just going to sand the edges of this harder casing away, so I've got movement for the tweeter, so it's not being forced into any certain direction, okay? We're not going out the other side. Just gently making the plastic here, the hard plastic, move. So now, I just flip that round. We get our bezel, we get our tweeter, we undo our cabling. So I'm going to hot glue this into position so it doesn't move. We put our ring, which is bigger than our hole, which is going to neaten up our edge, our finishing ring. Put that through there. Alright, so that's our tweeter, going to sit like that. I get my tweeter cable through the hole. It goes in there. And then just gently line it up. You don't want to push it obviously on the grill because you'll bend the tweeter housing. but if you work it backwards and forwards, the leather will give. The tweeter pops in, and there we go. Have it perfectly between the two triangles, flush as we can get. Obviously this is curved slightly this way, but we've got a little bit of give on there, so I can just tweak that a little bit. What I'll do is I'll hold this down and then hot glue the back of it so it'll keep it sat in, and our tweeter ends up there. Easy, right? Cool. And then the next one, try not to drop your tools. The next one, we've measured with a blank grill. This is the internal gap of our 17cm mid. We're just going to mount that above the big hole for where the original factory would sit. We mark this round and then literally cut with a jigsaw, and this has got obviously a 1cm plus gap that we can align our speaker where we want it to go, as long as the magnet and the basket is cleared on the back. And that's as easy as it is. All right, so I'm going to hot glue this, get that put into location. Our crossover is mounted internally on the door. So with this one, I've mounted the crossover behind this because I've got space here. So it's double-sided onto this panel and screwed in. And then we're just running one speaker feed into the crossover, tweeter, tweeter, mid. And it's as easy as that. So I'm going to finish this off. I'll come back to you in a bit. And it'll look like that. Right then guys, there we go. So we've got no radio reception. I didn't fit this stereo, but there's no radio reception, there's no DAB. But we've got component set there, tweeter there, same this side, component set, tweeter. And then in the back, set of coaxials as well, run in there. So this one's finished. Saito works. You wish. Needs a 2J for that, buddy. But anyway, that one's finished. I'm going to give Vince a call. See you in a bit. Afternoon everyone. Lexus has been picked up, and as you can hear, English summertime has arrived. Forget your temperatures, this is what we're used to. Torrential rain, and it is absolutely lush. Temperatures drop right down. Oh, I'm a happy boy. I'm almost tempted to get naked and go and run in the car park. No, God! Might get arrested. But anyway, that's it for Wednesday. I've got to shoot home. Wifey's off out tonight with her workmates, so I'm doing the parent thing. And I will see you bright and early in the morning. I've had no word yet from Hills. Still waiting to hear back from them as to what they're going to do with my car, whether they've looked at the footage or whatever. They probably realised that the guy was driving like an absolute penis, and they're probably embarrassed to give me a call. But that's it. Shutting up shop. See you bright and early in the morning. Thursday tomorrow. I haven't looked at the diary. I don't know what we got. We'll talk about it on the waffle. See you then.